I created this podcast to share the stories I wish I knew while diving into public health. I did not know what public health was when I started my Master's of Public Health in 2017. And then in 2019, I was able to secure a community health fellowship before graduating. I started this platform as a way to share my insights and learnings, and now it has expanded to share diverse and unique career stories in public health as well. The Public Health Careers podcast had over 50,000 downloads last year. To say the least, 2023 has been a great year. A year of growth, of learning, of taking more risk, of sharing more with you all. And I'll quote, "Without reflection, we go blindly on our way, creating more unintended consequences and failing to achieve anything useful." End quote. Margaret J. Wheatley. Before we go into the reflection for the year, Happy New Year to all of you. I wish you all that you wish yourself, and many, many more. Make 2024 your year. I hope you all got some time away from the usual schedule. You hopefully got some downtime to enjoy with family and friends. And I wanted to give you all a reflection of last year, share 2 lessons, and what to look out for in 2024. Each year that passes, I'm even more grateful for all of you that show up and support me and this platform. It isn't easy, but it is worth it. Especially when I get messages from you all that say things like they enjoyed this interview with X guest, or they learned X thing from this post. Those are the moments that are invaluable to me, and the moments that keep me wanting to share more with you all. Those are the moments I live for. So I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it 100 times more. Thank you so much for the support that you've given to the Public Health Millennial platform. And I hope that I can repay you through valuable content and information. I wanted to thank some specific people who have really helped the development of this platform. Jose Richens, Laura Robles Torres, Usli McCullers, Brianna Yor, Win Win, Hamila Asefa, Jasmine Leonard, and many others out there. I give thanks for all of you. Reflecting on 2023, what a year it has been for public health careers and the Public Health Millennial. We published 68 episodes, had over 50,000 downloads. The podcast was listened to in 126 countries and is in the top 25% of all shows. I wanted to give you all the top 5 podcasts that were downloaded last year. So, number 1, episode 136, Finding Your Way in the Public Health Field with Ajayi Pickering Haynes. Number 2, episode 143, Health Equity Strategies for Community and Social Change with Dr. Angelica Hardy. Number 3, episode 142, Equity Matters. This is not an academic exercise with Manashki Verma Agrawal. Number 4, episode 144, Population Health Impact, using multidisciplinary approaches with Yesenia Angles. And number 5, episode 133, From Student to Working Professional, How to Navigate a Career Path in Applied Health While Authentically Living for Moments That Matter, with Rio Alegre. And the most shared episode of last year was episode 152, Community Engaged Research for Innovative Solutions with Jessica Otero Machuca. I am deeply pleasured that I am a top 10 podcast for over 1,000 fans. I am a top 5 podcast for over 550 fans. And I am a top 1 podcast for 135 fans who listened at 4.5 times more than other listeners. If I am in your top 1, top 5, or top 10 podcast, thank you so much for following along. I'm so glad to have you, and continue to listen, continue to share, continue to advocate for public health. Quote, by 3 methods, we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is bitterest. End quote. Confucius. 2 lessons I learned in 2023. The first one being breaks are important, short and long ones. It was towards the end of the year. I just spent an entire month of November traveling for work and for fun, and things didn't pan out how I wanted them to going into December. This was on top of going through some tough emotional battles towards the end of 2023. I had a choice to make going into December. Either I would have to choose grinding to get a few more guests, editing podcasts, and releasing it, or just say no to podcasts being released in December. I went with the latter, even though it wasn't what I ideally wanted to do at the time. Reflecting, however, I'm glad that I made that choice because it really freed me up to decompress emotionally and physically going into this new year. The lesson here is that we are all doing work that is important, and at the same time, it can be consuming our lives. We have to be intentional in taking time away to relax, to reset, and to play. Take breaks, whether that's a walk during the day or taking PTO to disconnect. We all will be better if we don't allow ourselves to be consumed by the do more, produce more capitalism spiral. It's okay to rest. It's okay to do nothing. And the second big takeaway was things take time. You just have to start small. I didn't get to over 170 episodes of my podcast overnight. I didn't get confident in doing podcast overnight. It was an evolution of myself in becoming more confident. And how do you build confidence, you ask? Don't build confidence, build evidence. Confidence comes as a result of the evidence, not the other way around. Or said in another way, confidence without evidence is delusion. You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Give yourself so much goddamn proof that you are the version of yourself that you want to be, and you'll become then. Outwork your self doubt. These two quotes were by Alex Hormozy. We all start off as beginners in something. What makes us confident are the consistent actions we take to overcome our disbelief, our imposter syndrome, into knowing that this is the person that we are becoming. Don't judge yourself too hard against others around you. We all have our own races to run. Too often in 2023, I was comparing myself to other creators and what they were doing. But this took away my joy. It took away the enjoyment of my process that has led me to where I am today. The lesson here is put blinders on and focus what you can control. Be intentional in the actions you want to take because they are creating a tally for the person that you will become. Be kind with yourself, and there's nothing as starting too small. It is just important that you be consistent with your actions. What to look forward to in 2024? My goals for the Public Health Millennial have remained pretty consistent around creating consistent content, sharing valuable podcast interviews. But this year, I want to take on even more than I have in the past. Before I get into this, I wanted to read this quote. Nothing great is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Epictetus. So for all of you that are working towards big, audacious goals this year, just know that it all starts with something small. Those small steps are what are most important. You have to sow the soil, plant the seed, water and fertilize the seedling before anything grows. 2024 came fast and furious, but I'm looking forward to what it will bring in the end. Some of the same things that you're going to see this year from the Public Health Millennial are more public health career stories through this podcast, content helping you learn, navigate, and transform your public health career across LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and maybe TikTok. We'll see about that one. You'll hear season 2 of Health Equity Mondays with Jasmine, as well as a new podcast by the Public Health Millennial intern Brianna Yore called MPH Lens. There will be more public health happy hours to network, learn, and build together. And just that a reminder that I do have a store where you can buy some apparel and use the code podcast to get 20% off. What will be new this year is I will be launching a paid online community. If you want early access to the community, which will come at a 30 to 45% discount of the full price, be sure to join the waitlist through the link in the description. Early access will allow you to be a founder of the community, to give more feedback, and will allow you to enter into an exclusive giveaway that will only take place in the community. The goal of this community is to better support you in meaningful networking, creating space for authentic sharing of your experiences as a public health professional, give you advice and mentorship, as well as opportunities for collaboration, sharing and learning from resources, and supporting you in building your brand. I'm also in the planning stages to have more live discussions, panels, and also in-person events. So stay tuned for that as well. I'm also open to hearing your suggestions and feedback, so don't hesitate if there's something you want me to cover or you want my insights on. This helps me to help you. I'm excited to see what's to come in this new year. I'm excited to see where we all can go to better know how to make a meaningful impact in our public health careers. With that said, next week, we start back the podcast interviews. I'm very excited to kick off 2024 with an interview with AJ Pullman, who's the director of the Public Health AmeriCorps program, and has also served as the chief of staff for the COVID-19 response, as well as she was the health lead for the personal appointments team in support of the Biden-Harris presidential transition, and so much more. I'm looking forward to sharing even more insights, diverse and meaningful conversations with you all here. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, sign up for the waitlist, and let's lock in to make 2024 great. Peace, everyone.